When I'm adding new films to my collection, I want to ensure that they are the best discs around. But how do I judge whether a Blu-ray disc or a 4K disc is good enough to add to my collection? Well, that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. I'm going to go through my own personal criteria on judging whether a boutique Blu-ray disc is a good one or not. So hopefully you'll find some value in seeing how I assess each disc before I decide to keep it in my collection. So first of all, the film itself, because that is the most important thing when collecting these films on physical media. It has to be a film that I enjoy, or at least one that I appreciate to an extent where I want to revisit it time and time again. So it could be a film from a filmmaker who I particularly admire, but it could be one of their so-called lesser films in their filmography. You know, one of those films where there are moments of brilliance, but the overall film doesn't quite work. I keep those around, not because I think they're the best films ever, but if it's a filmmaker that I really love, it's nice to look back at their career and kind of study, you know, perhaps where they went wrong, but also look at those moments where they really did get things right, if that makes sense. But beyond that, when I know that I enjoy the film, it also matters to me how the film is presented on the Blu-ray disc. So it has to be the best presentation available. Personally, I don't keep discs around if I know that there is a superior version of the film on disc out there. So particularly now when there are films that are getting upgrades to 4K, if I really love the film, I'm going to go and get the 4K disc. So when I look at boutique Blu-ray releases of older films, if they're not using the best current restoration on the disc, if they're using a dated transfer or whatever, to me that really knocks points off that disc, and I'm unlikely to keep it around, regardless of what extra stuff is on the disc. For example, I have a disc here that I really enjoyed recently, and I'm so glad to have it in my collection. It's Married to the Mob. This is the Jonathan Demme movie, and this is from Fun City Editions, who are being distributed here in the UK by our new friends at Radiance Films. This disc here is sourced from the latest restoration of the movie, a 2K restoration, so it means that I can retire my older German Blu-ray of the movie, which is from a dated transfer now. And that's before we get into everything else on this disc. So it's important to me that when a boutique Blu-ray of a film that I really love gets released, it has to be from the best materials possible, both for video and audio. And in this example, this is perfect for me. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, then you must be someone who is interested in the special features that you get on a Blu-ray disc. They really do just complete the whole package for me. Of course, the film itself is the most important thing, but getting that extra appreciation and the extra context from the special features really does just enrich the whole movie-going experience for me. And it's such a key part of physical media because that isn't something that you get from streaming services and digital downloads. I have a great example of this from another disc that I loved watching recently. It's Cutter's Way. This is another edition from Fun City Editions, distributed by Radiance in the UK. And here they have taken the film, they presented the film with the best quality materials available. But when you look at the special features, not only have they compiled some archival interviews and features, but they have brought new special features to this package as well. So there are new interviews with the cast and crew. There's a new audio commentary on here. So not only are you getting things that existed previously, you're getting new stuff. And that just really makes me so happy when I see that on a disc. The reason it's important for me to get new special features on new releases is because the appreciation of movies changes over time. A movie that might have been considered a flop or a disaster decades ago might have some kind of new cult following or some new appreciation. And our perception of films always changes based on where we are in our lives. So depending on what's going on in today's society can help us reinterpret older films and get something new from them. So that's why the package of special features on a disc like this from Fun City Editions really does just make me so happy. And I wish that every single boutique Blu-ray release could do what they are doing here. So we've talked about the movie itself, we've talked about the importance of special features, but there's even a step beyond that that really makes up a great boutique Blu-ray release for me and for many other people. That's the packaging and the physical presentation of the physical media product. Now, those two Fun City editions that I showed you earlier, they both have these very nice slip covers on the limited edition sets. Now, I know that some people don't like slip covers, and me personally, I enjoy a slip cover, but I'm not an enthusiast where I have to have one for every single film in my collection, though I'm not knocking you if you are one of those people. What is important to me when looking at the packaging is the artwork nice, and is it going to look good on my shelf when I have it spine on? Something I do hate on packaging, which thankfully the boutique labels don't do, which is where you see loads of star ratings and quotes from media outlets on the cover of the disc. That's usually for like Oscar winners, award winners, where they are really trying to sell the disc and they think that having loads of that stuff on the front cover helps sell it. I hate that. I really, really do hate that. So thankfully, these labels don't do that. Another thing that I really appreciate with the packaging is when you get to choose which artwork you display. And that is usually with a reversible sleeve on the disc. So here I have Big Time Gambling Boss from Radiance Films. This is a fantastic release. I did a review and unboxing of this on the channel a few weeks ago, so do go and check that out. But if you haven't had a look at Radiance Films and the great stuff that they're doing, please do go and check them out. So you can see this artwork on here, which is one of the original poster designs for the film. But if I open up the case and I take the disc out, you'll actually see that there is extra new artwork that you can display on the front of the case. So you get a choice of what kind of artwork you want. And the fact that it feels like not a big deal to many people, but the labels still go ahead and do it, really shows to me the extra love and care going into these releases. Having a reversible sleeve is also a great way for the UK boutique labels to get around the fact that they legally have to show the ratings logo for the film on the front of the package. So going back to those Fun City editions from before with Married to the Mob, I've reversed the sleeve on this because the cover that it comes with does have a ratings logo on the front, which I'll show you now. So if you can see through the plastic here, there is a ratings logo on this artwork, which it had on the front. So you get the choice. If the ratings logos really bother you, you can flip the artwork and have no ratings logos on the front. Again, it's a very small thing. I know some people will not care about that at all. It just goes to show the extra care and attention that's gone into such a release. Oh, and something I forgot to mention before when talking about extras and special features is that many boutique releases come with a physical extra in the form of a booklet. Now again, I imagine some people will not care about booklets. They probably never read them when they come with these Blu-rays. But for me, it's also an extra way of adding some appreciation and context to the film that I've just seen, because they can get some people who are incredible writers and include some of their essays and articles in the booklet. For example, with the Working Class Goes to Heaven disc from Radiance Films, again, a 10 out of 10 release, they had a substantial booklet inside the case with so many writings and details on the production. You can see some of the marketing materials for the film originally, poster designs and things like that. You could spend a good chunk of time just going through the booklet and just, adding to your knowledge and appreciation of the movie. So the booklets really are important to me, especially when I'm looking back at certain filmmakers and I'm going through their films sequentially, and just getting all of the extra stuff from the booklets really does help not just my appreciation of that one film, but often my appreciation of the filmmaker and their work as a whole. So I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on what makes a great boutique Blu-ray. Please do check out Radiance Films and Fun City Editions, because those are two labels that are doing absolutely amazing work in this area. If you want to hear more about some of my favorite boutique Blu-ray releases from last year that you don't want to miss out on, then click the video on screen and you can hear all of my recommendations. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon.